People have been poking fun at daytime dramas, the soap opera, for years. But there's another side of this story. While primetime television has the biggest audiences and the biggest advertising rates, daytime television has actually been more profitable than nighttime for most of TV's history. Eventually, TV decided that what most people wanted to see were ordinary people, sometimes surrounded by stars, making a lot of money very quickly, an appeal to our universal sense of greed.
Shari, you must be closer than $2,218. You bid $6,000 and the actual retail price is $8,602, a difference of $2,602. You win, Ali.
It was a kind of fantasy, people plucked out of daily life, thrown in with celebrities, having the chance for big money and prizes. To someone spending the daytime hours at home alone, it was as riveting a diversion as the fictional crises of soap opera people. And keeping the audience tuned in is what television, the business of television, is all about.
We've got to realize, as we've been pointing out in TV Guide for years, that television is a business.
Somebody said that it's an art trapped in a business, and somebody else said it's a business trapped in a business.
Television is in the business of selling the audience to the advertiser. Television really has nothing to do with programs, and the people who are responsible for television have very little interest in programs. What they are interested in is how they can best package and deliver the audience at a cost per thousand to an advertiser.
The commercials pay for a $100 million news operation. You know, they pay for an overhead that is absolutely enormous. It's our system. And it enables us to do the many things that we do. And I guess when somebody comes up with a better system, then, we'll see what happens. But I happen to believe that our current system of free commercial broadcasting is the best system and will continue to be the best system for many, many years to come.
Yes, fruit juice is always right at your fingertips with the automatic twin juice fountain found only in this beautiful new 1955 Westinghouse refrigerator. You won't find it in any other refrigerator. And here
From the very beginning of television, advertisers loved the medium. Because it had the intimacy of radio, it came right into our homes. And you could show the product, even make it dazzle the eye. Sometimes ads can do more than sell a product. They can make a character as popular as the star of a TV series.
Poached oysters.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
I've been sweet and I've been good. I've had
They can show romance as a predatory game.
Motherhood, but I'm gonna have an Evian night.
Or as a secure family bond. Or rural tradition. And they reach all of us, no matter how old or young. You don't want any commercials included in television periods that are directed at children.
We think that's the ideal way to handle the problem. And I suppose that that in the 11 years ACT's been in existence, the industry has blown it. The candy bar, the sticky candy bar says, at work, rest, or play, every day, the sticky candy bar. And it never occurred to that candy industry to say once in one commercial on children's television, and maybe it would be a good idea to brush your teeth afterwards. Not once.
And there's something else commercials can do. They can paint women as housebound creatures passionate over the removal of stubborn stains.
Hi. For years, I have had a family problem I could not solve. Dirt, grease, and stains in my family wash. I tried every brand of detergent on the market, but nothing seemed to do the job. Then about a month ago, a man came to the door and asked me to try something new called Dirt. He said to me, With grr, your problems will be over. Naturally, I was skeptical, but I tried it anyway. And was I surprised? Everything came out perfect, even the tough things. I was so excited, I just had to come on TV and tell you about it. With grr, your problems will be over. Grr contains a new additive called carnivore that seeks out and gobbles up stains like 1,000 tiny little piranha fish. To prove it, I have brought some samples from my own family laundry. Ooh. See this diaper? It has been worn 6 days. Disgusting. And look at these grass stains on Billy's chinos. These are really tough. And here, these lipstick stains on my husband's collar. Well, anyway, I am only going to take half a cup of grr. You only need half a cup because it's concentrated. See? You can actually feel it coming on for weeks and weeks now. He's been so indifferent no matter how hard I try to please him. Because it's concentrated, you save money because you use less and less time at home. All those nights he said he was going bowling. I got along like some kind of fool. Well, the hell with you. Grr is not only strong, it is safe. For even the most delicate washables, like the sheer pink negligee he gave me on our 8th anniversary. You never cared about me. All you ever wanted was supper on the table and no responsibility. Well, you want to know something? Billy isn't yours.
We've tried to show you what's happened to television over the past 25 years. But what's happened to us? For 25 years, we've come home almost every night to television. More and more, 6.5 hours a day on the average. We've used it as our theater, our newspaper, our babysitter. And for most of those 25 years, we've been fascinated by it and worried about it. We didn't always like what we saw, and we wondered whether scenes like this were affecting our children.
I watch the news every day at 6 o'clock, and nothing we could possibly do or have ever done on Starsky and Hutch is as violent as what I see on the news. I don't want my children growing up to think this is a perfect world where there is no violence on the streets. And I think that Starsky and Hutch was no more violent than the million of Western shows and that fantasy world of violence than anything has ever been on. I think relationships are as important and more important to a show than violence. I don't think it should be the show itself, but to do a police show and say there's no violence on the streets is absolute stupidity to me.
We also know that high levels of violence tend to desensitize us to the real-life violence of the folks in our world and tend to make us accept the notion of violence as an acceptable way of dealing with human conflict.
We worry about the use of sexual suggestion on television, about what happens when freedom of speech runs into fear over moral values.
Sorry I'm missing the flick, Angels. I've heard it's educational.
A marvelous training film for the sadomasochistic set, Charlie.
There's some great chains if you're into chains, Charlie.
It's sex as titillation, sex as a kind of an illusion that we can use to attract audiences in a way that we perhaps were not able to 10 years ago. It's much more acceptable now.
I can't understand the naivete of some of the groups who say we have a jiggle show. Women are built differently. When they walk down the streets, they jiggle more than men. But I don't see anybody griping about the bare chests and legs of men on beaches.
And we worry about the effect of ratings competition on the quality of what we see.
It's too easy to flail at and to fault television executives, the network executives who make the decisions. I think we have to understand that they're trapped in the system. They are not dumb people. They are not people who don't know. They are not people who are necessarily making the decisions their gut tells them they should be making. They are people who are trapped in a system, and the system is I want to be in the top 10. I want 4 shows in the top 10 next week.